sa tutta una maniera. Secondo mare dai mangulito sapano fa. Secondo mare dai mangulito sapano fa. Weli, wela.
Hello everyone, welcome back. We're in southern Italy this weekend. We've travelled to the town of Matera. Once described as the shame of Italy, it is now an absolute jewel. That time capsule where it hasn't developed over hundreds of years. Feels like you're stepping into the past. We can have a tour around. We're going to see what there is for a bite to eat, and more importantly, what it looks like for a local pint. There's a couple of penguins over my shoulder doing the lombarda, so that's a good start. Welcome to Matera. Outside Birra 79. It's one of the main breweries in central Matera. 2014, they brew way over to the other side of the mountains. And they had a rebrand in 2019. They're essentially a beer firm, because you know they're like Italian. But they're refreshed as B79, and this is the most lively place in town. It's off the main street. It's got a nice little square tucked in here. They've got a weird queuing system thing that goes on the inside. Which I didn't quite get the hang of, but they took pity on me and served me anyway. We've gone for a wee heavy, so this is Redtuff, 7.5%. It's a Scotch ale. It was only about £5 for 40 centilitres. It's got a nice malty flavour that you expect of a Scotch ale off the top. Let's give it a go. Cheers. There's a nice sweet malt to that, really nice and crispy on the back of the tongue. It's a slight bit of carbonation. It's not as syrupy and as thick as you'd expect a normal wee heavy to be. The balance with that, it's quite drinkable. 7.5%, you can probably top this back quite quickly and be in a bit of trouble. Toasting off, done a few steps, climbed back up the hill, had a nice vegetarian meal down in the centre of the gorge. One of my mates has gone transgender and he's gone vegetarian these days, but that's because he was a herbivore, so who knows. But the Birra is a fabulous open space. There's a really nice vibe out here. Vicky Cam's got the giggles off her wine. And if you're ever in Matera, give it a go. Cheers. Matera is split into 4 sections. You've got the 2 sassis. Sassi is Italian for stones. You've got the Caveosa, the cave dwellings, which are over there. And up behind me, you have the Bavioso, or the places which face over towards Bari. You've got the old historic centre where the incredibly wealthy live just up on the top of the mountain, and then the new town that they've developed behind that. You might be able to see behind me the series of arches as they go up. Everyone's roof is a street, and everyone's street is a roof, as they've slowly but surely built up layer upon layer.
La femmina da Matera sa tutta una maniera. Secondo mare dai mangulito sapano fa. Secondo mare dai mangulito sapano fa. Weli, wela. E l'amore quando viene da salute se ne va. Weli, wela. E l'amore quando viene da salute se ne va.
We're just walking in between the 2 sassis, between the Bavioso and the Caveoso. And this feels like the main road. It's right on the edge of town. There's a massive drop off to the gorge below. And you won't see any cars in town, but you will see plenty here. And this tiny little bar we just walked past called Virtus. It seems to be run by cats. There's one little girl in there just serving beers, and they've got a proper local one. It's not from Mathera. It's from a place called Venoso, which is about an hour's drive. This is by Troilo. This is their blonde, 5.5% lager beer. Oh, it's got some nice tiny little bubbles just all going up in unison. It's a bit like a lava lamp. It was €6 for a proper pint. This is a proper pint glass. Took some finding out about, set up by Nicola Troilo way back in the 70s. Then that's it. Everything else is in secret, but they do olive oil and all sorts of stuff. This smells quite nice. Let's give it a try. Cheers. It's got a nice body. It's got slight buttery grassiness on the back end. Lovely light carbonation. And again, very, very refreshing. Italians love a lager. It's sunny here most of the time, just not quite today. And they've got a speaker over above the door, just banging out a few tunes. And with a view over the valley, it's pretty entertaining. So if you get lost and you get stuck on the edge of town, give Vitreous a try. Cheers. It's a little bistro called Scipipi. It's on the main top high street. As we found out in the walking tour today, the posh part of Matera, right at the top of the hill. They have someone who produces their own beers. You can only get them here. So this is their red at 6.3, €7. They've got a selection of 4, got a lager, got an IPA. There is brewery on there, but it's very, very small for my eyes. Oh, it's a lovely malty red fruit type of smell, some of that. Salute. Gentle bubbles in here, lovely fruity caramel. It's nice and rich, it's got that heavy body going down towards the back. 4 beers I think you're never going to get anywhere else in the world. So if you're in Matera, you've got to pop in and give them a try. This is Scipipi and its little scarab. Cheers. Recommended by the walking tour guide yesterday, Gaetano, that Zipa Cafe, which sits just underneath the rock church, and it's chiselled in. I don't know if it's in one of the old cave houses or just a wine store, but it's a really atmospheric type of setting, and they've just plonked down a load of beanbags, tunes in the background. Might be a few making their way up to the church behind us. They've got a local beer. So this is Chelinda. It's by Birra and Matera, or 79. This is their German lager or Kolsch beer, 4.5%. It was very, very lively. So this is take 2 or 3. About €6. It's got a nice little hazy look to it, in a traditional Kolsch style long test tubey glass. There's a little sweet breading out of the top. Cheers. I'd imagine on a hot day when you're going upstairs, down valleys, in cave houses, into churches, that would be really refreshing. It's sweet, lightly carbonated, and a bit bready. And with the view, looks pretty cracking. So it's a Zipa. Salute.
E l'amore quando viene da salute se ne
This is a Pane&Pomodoro. It'll be slightly quick because it's a restaurant set down in the Trattoria Del Caveosa. But we specifically came here because they've got Mathera beer. So this is by Birra and Mathera, set up by Silvio Contilli in 2014. They brew right up over the other side on the flat bit, the other side of the mountain. Do 4 beers, do a red, do this blonde, do a blanche, and one other. This is about €6 for a massive bottle. It's a nice oranginess to that. It smells ever so sweet, slightly sour off the top. Salute. Oh, it's very fresh. There's like a herbiness to that. And a slight sour finish to the back. That's very tasty. It's like maltiness, a slight wheaty sourness to the back of it, and then like a real herbally finish. It's a bit different. It's a nice little restaurant. They've got a big strip outside that looks all over the caves and down towards the one of the main churches. We're tucked in what you'll often see in out of season in Matera, where they've stuck some plastic in a little box and pop a heater in, so it's nice and warm. We're waiting for a couple of massive bowls of pasta, but the beer, excellent. Cheers.